Hey everyone, welcome back to the TESTA Sales and Marketing Check-In. This is part 2. I'm Ian, TESTA Head of Marketing, and I've got Head of Sales Jenny back with me today. Jenny, how's it going?
It's good. 1 month since we met last, but things are
Yeah,
good. It's been very, very busy with everything happening after our exhibit.
indeed, indeed. And that is our topic today. It's 1 month after SBC in Lisbon. So we want to reflect back on that and think about some of the pain points and problems that we heard from customers coming to our stand at SBC. So I'll just jump right into it, okay?
Yeah, do it.
The first one had to do with manual testing and specifically for usability and UX. What did we hear about that from visitors to the stand, Jenny?
So what we hear is that the way you put things together in gaming and the way you release new things all the time and new games, new payment methods, it's unfortunately still not enough to just test it in your own space and in your own dev teams. So when we do manual testing of full user flows, it still gives a lot of value because you find errors that you would have been unaware of otherwise, and you can fix them in time.
That's it. Yeah, that's a big advantage if you can fix that stuff early. The second pain point we heard about had to do with cultural fit testing, or as we call it, localization. And what we learned is that people do have localization issues when it comes to language. Are things written correctly in the native language? But also about cultural stuff. All right, how does it resonate with the local culture? What did we hear about that, Jenny? And what are your thoughts on it?
Well, we were even a bit surprised over from Testa's side that you put so much money into something and you have a lot of experts that put together this that's supposed to fit culturally, and then when we have testers looking at the sites, there are often a lot of comments and feedback that say that this button is not, it's not the words that we use, and other things that they uncover as well. And I heard as well that there was something that they discovered around the imagery when we did another test.
Yeah, that was kind of over on the marketing side. We were producing some content about Brazil, and one of the testers, actually a couple of the testers, gave us some feedback that was very similar, and that was that the imagery on two of the sites that we were testing, one was Bet365, a giant global offshore in Brazil, and another one was a local called Bet7K. While the differences in the imagery were very noticeable to the local testers. On Bet365, there was a lot of generic imagery, used stock images. Yes, it was green and yellow. Yes, it looked like Brazil, but it didn't look real. On the other hand, Bet7K, real athletes, real celebrities, real things that
Yeah.
people would recognize if you were a real local in Brazil. And, we didn't ask them for that feedback. They gave it to us. So that's something they just noticed on their own.
No, that's very, and especially with the amount of money you put into this and when you put all the
Right.
marketing behind it, you want your site to be good. And this way of uncovering these things, it's just a good test in the end to make sure that you have everything put together.
That's it. So our third and final thing that we're going to talk about today is competitor benchmarking. Always something that we hear a lot about. What did you hear at SBC, Jenny, about competitor benchmarking?
This one has been very big for us, and I think the reason why is that even without ordering a huge benchmarking project, you want to know what your competition is doing. You want to know how is are my games looking, how they're performing, because maybe 20 seconds is acceptable for a game to load in the market you're in. Maybe you're actually it's what you can accept, or maybe you need to go a lot faster. And then especially on complicated things like registration flows in, let's say, Ontario, you want to know, I mean, how, if it takes me this long to register and my customers this long to register, is that, I mean, is that what it is always in the market? And then there's
Yeah,
always the curiosity, of course. You want to know what does everyone else do and what does it look like? And this is not something you can test on your own,
right.
of course, because usually you're entering markets where that's far away from you, and you can't have people in the office testing everything from a true customer perspective. So that's a really interesting one, and it's something that yeah, you always uncover something when you compare yourself to others.
Through others. Yeah, yeah. All right, that's cool. Let's wind it up here. I'm just gonna leave you with my big takeaway from SBC, and maybe you can do the same for me. My thing was that when people were coming to talk to us, the problems they were talking about, the pain points they had, we're just so aligned with what we thought they were going to be. The solutions that we've cooked up on the marketing website for the last 6 months or so were the solutions that they were looking for. And so that was a nice validation for me. And yeah, just nice to hear.
No, the same for me. And I think one of the things I like the most as well is that a lot of these things that we uncover with tests are things that you can fix in an easy way to give you value very quickly. And that's something I'm very positive to. I mean, some things you can test it, but you just know that this is not going to, it's a very difficult thing to fix. But a lot of the problems that we see, it's more about finding the problems, and then it's an easy way to fix it. So that was something that I enjoyed a lot, that we know that we're helping current customers do that.
Very good. Okay, so let's just wrap it up here. SBCs in the past, in the future, you've got Sigma Europe. You're right there, so you're going to be attending middle of November. I say that we check in again after that. What do you say?
That sounds perfect, and see what's new.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you then, Jenny. Bye bye.